Hey everybody, Karyn Bryant here. Welcome to the podcast. Get our 2-minute warm-up going here, Pete. I even gave your name away. I'm sorry. Karyn Bryant and...
Pete coming.
All right, folks. Welcome to the podcast number 37. 37.
Nice.
When we get to 50, we'll have to have a bit of a party.
We're getting a library of podcasts.
We are.
We're going to have to start trying to sell the library.
We may have.
Get the first season now on DVD. Binge watch the podcast.
Watch or binge listen. Listen, folks, UFC Fight Night went down the other night. We're going to talk about Maia's win over Ryan LaFleur. We'll talk about Eric Silva and Josh Koscheck. We'll talk about that Drew Dober decision, which was just dreadful, shameful. And we'll take a look ahead. As you know, the UFC 189 tour is going on right now with Conor McGregor and the champion Jose Aldo. We're going to get into that. I want to hear your thoughts, Pete. I'm specifically curious your thoughts on Smack Talk as a strategy. I'm curious how you feel that's going to go. And then we also are going to talk about Ronda and Bethe and hear from Bethe. We've got a nice soundbite from Bethe on whether or not she feels Ronda is a good champion. And Pete, I don't even know what goes on in High Five. Honestly, folks, we leave that up to Pete and Wade. I don't know. I can't take any responsibility. This is my disclaimer. But did you had a good week? What is that face?
I'm just happy to be here.
Are you?
No, hey, I went to my first NASCAR race over the weekend.
How was it?
Well, you know how you think that NASCAR is just cars going around in a circle, I had a very snobby northeastern view, it's just cars going around. Well, I finally went to a race, and I got to tell you, it's just cars going around in a circle.
But there's beer.
Yeah. By the way, I'm drinking a Budweiser at a NASCAR race. This basically, what do I say? By all calculations, I'm now front runner to win the GOP nomination.
Yes, you are.
I mean, how much more American can you get?
Very nice.
There?
God bless
No, it was
America.
great.
It is fun.
Went there, then we stopped by a strip bar on the way back,
Sweet.
and then I got to watch the UFC fights at night. So it's sort of what they call the Holy Trinity, I believe.
Nice. All right, well, let's get into round one, folks. I want to talk about Maia's victory over Ryan LaFleur. Now, here's the thing. Going into this fight, Ryan LaFleur was 11-0, undefeated, coming in, and had beaten Court McGee. He beat John Howard. He put together 4 wins in the UFC, all by decision. The interesting thing, before he got to the UFC, Ryan LaFleur had finishes, all kinds of stuff. Comes to the UFC, starts getting decisions. But anyway, on the rise, calls out Maia, says, quote, "I'm not afraid to grapple with that guy." This has got to be the biggest case of be careful what you wish for. He was owned. Did you look up pwned, by the way?
I did. Well, somebody actually...
No, they misheard me. They said proned. It's pwned. It's P-W-O. It's not P-R. Anyway. But that's what happened. The first 4 rounds, it was all Damian. And he just controlled Ryan on the ground. And Ryan didn't have an answer for it. In the past, he's been able to get up quickly when taken down and be creative with, making some space on his way down. Did not have an answer for Damian Maia. Damian Maia is a third-degree black belt. Third-degree black belt. You don't go, yeah, cool, I'm cool with it. I mean, I'm like a purple belt or something, and
First of all, those first 4 rounds were like Groundhog Day. It was like he would get him on the mat with around 3 minutes left, and then you would just watch LaFleur struggle for 3 minutes trying not to get submitted.
Yeah.
But actually, did you know that LaFleur is a French word meaning "fuck"? I'm on the mat again.
I did not know that. I did not know that. Well, yeah, that's the thing. There was one point, I swear that's funny. I think it was either round 3 or round 4, and there was one shot of the angle, and you just saw his face. He's like, oh, sweet Jesus. Like, Damian's in there sinking something, and Damian came really close. This is after the fight. Damian says it was exciting to return to Rio in a main event after 10 months away. I almost finished him by the end of the 3rd round, but I couldn't. But I was able to dominate the fight and leave with the victory. Ryan LaFleur says, I was too late. I gave him too much credit, and I paid for him. So that makes me think it was the 5th round. I got nervous for Damian. It's a long fight. Ryan is a younger guy, more energy. I thought, okay, in the 5th round, I was like, Damian, just get on your bicycle. Just wheels. Just stick a move. Just stay away. Because, he could totally get knocked out. So LaFleur is saying, I gave him too much credit. I paid for it. So which is it? You're not afraid to go to the ground with him, or you're now in there with him and you are giving him too much credit and you're not putting in your game?
I think he just felt that he he didn't start early enough. I mean, and first of all, I love the 5th round.
Yeah.
Because, because like,
it made me very nervous.
Maia's like lying on his back trying to like lure him in.
Yeah.
And he looked like that creepy fraternity guy who's like sitting on the edge of the bed trying to get the freshmen to sit down. Come on, have a little seat. He's like, he would be like the worst real estate agent in history. Come on, there's plenty of room here. It's spacious. It's a little spacious mat for the 2 of us.
But it was a smart strategic move because Damian doesn't want to fight on the feet, and that's a legit thing to do.
Did he really think that LaFleur was going to fall for that? Be like,
maybe. Listen, in desperation, Ryan could have played the game, moved the legs around, and gone in for. I mean, it could happen. I'm not saying I just
think the fight took a little creepy toe. Where he's like, come on.
Here's the thing.
I have a little throw rug down here and a little pillow for us.
And in all honesty, I was talking to Eduardo Alonso, Damian's manager. Before this fight, they were definitely concerned with Ryan's athleticism. And yeah, Damian was not just out for 10 months. He was in a hospital for months. He had gotten an infection and he got staph in his bones, basically. And he almost died. So it was not even about like, hey, I may not fight anymore. It's like, I might die.
Right.
And so he came back from that. Initially was supposed to only have a 3-round fight. There were some changes. Uriah fell off the card. This got elevated. So they were like, great, 5-round main event. Great. So there was a lot of concern going into this fight. There was a lot to do. So I know some people who are not maybe Jits fans, it was a little boring. It was a clinic. If you like jiu-jitsu, that was brilliant.
I will say this entire night was a clinic in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Like, if you learn one martial arts discipline, this night showed jiu-jitsu.
Right.
Because, listen, what was the fight where...
Go to Frodo Pepe with the flying. We have more time to talk about that. But it was a great night for jiu-jitsu. Let me just sum it up like this. Number 7 going into this fight was Damian Maia. I don't know if this fight will move him up in the ranks, but I thought it was a great, solid win for him. I'm happy to have Damian back. I think he's a tremendous fighter. He is one of the classiest dudes you'll meet in the organization. Lovely man.
No. Burns versus Olivier. And like Olivier is like dominating for 2 rounds with his striking.
Oliveira. He all of a sudden is not
Olivier.
Francis Olivier.
No, but like Oliveira is like dominating for 2 rounds with his striking, and then Burns finally gets it down, and it's like boom, done. Then it becomes just a chess match. And so, I mean, I'm just pissed because I spent 7 years becoming a black belt in Tai Chi. Very bad. Very bad fighting discipline. I move the energy.
Is that what you do?
I move.
Is that what you do? Well, we got round 2 here. We're going to actually talk about some more of the fights in there. Have you ever actually done Tai Chi?
I've stood on the edge of a park with a beer in a paper thing and made fun of the people
You've
doing
had
Tai Chi.
Does that? No, exactly. All right. Round 2. Here we go, folks. Let's talk about some of the other fights on there. Yes, Durinho going in was such a big favorite. I believe he was the biggest favorite on the card. Durinho is a jiu-jitsu great guy. We met him actually years ago training with Vitor Belfort. He was like Vitor's jits guy. So Durinho has a lot of promise. And even though 155 is a very difficult division, this is a guy who has, a lot building and a lot going for him. So when this fight was changed from Josh Thompson to Alex Olivier Oliveira, he thought, okay, this will be no problem. This guy's is a newcomer. This is probably, I'm going to wreck him. And then he got out there, was like, oh, snap. For 2 rounds, Durinho was getting handed to him because his left eye swelled up. Olivier.
He's got those long arms.
Exactly. Oliveira knew how to use the range, so Durinho was really in a tough spot, but pulled it out. I mean, that was the thing. That shows you that patience of jiu-jitsu. Yeah. And I mean, he had gotten a belly down armbar in another fight, and just the way you were, and you could tell that he's like aware of the clock. Time is running out. It was perfect.
And he's just on there going like, okay, insert fold A in the slot B, apply pressure to C, and it's like. No, I mean, I now want my kids to take jiu-jitsu.
Well, you know that our daughter trains with Cobrinha, who is obviously brilliant, a multiple-time world champion. I would love for your kids to go over there and get schooled by mine, because she's about to get her gray belt. There's a white gray belt. She's going to shut those boys down.
Do you know what my number 1 fighting technique is now? Is
running.
I have a friend who works at the DA's office. That's good. That's good. I usually, that works sometimes.
It does work.
Yeah.
Oh, it definitely does.
Unless they're Spanish speaking, then I generally take a few shots.
Oh my God. Eric Silva, listen, got 2 wins in a row, which doesn't really sound like a lot, but for him, we speak about him as the most consistent, inconsistent fighter there is.
I've got us both talking straight
I know
up
you
now.
do. I'm totally messed up. But Eric Silva, if you look at his record, win, lose, win, lose, win, lose, win, lose, win. And so it's interesting that he was able to put it together. Josh, listen, Josh actually had the goods to beat him because Eric Silva can fight a great 1 round and he's very flashy, but as the fights go on, he gets more and more beatable. So if Josh could have gotten a takedown or weathered the storm or something, Josh probably could have had a chance. Maybe Josh's chin isn't there anymore. Maybe it is. Josh said after it, I came to fight. It didn't go my way. I just got to reevaluate my career, everything that I've done and where I am at this point in my career, and figure it out what I'm going to do. I've always told Dana that I will always want to fight for him anytime, any place. I did it again. We'll go home, reevaluate life, and see what's next. Most people think he should retire. You have any thoughts on that?
5 losses in a row. Yeah, it's time to retire. I mean, listen, you had a great, ride off into the sunset, be really proud, and, do the next stage of your life.
The thing is, I could argue that, and I agree that it's probably time to stop, but who are we to tell people to stop? Because people have told me to stop doing this a long time ago.
People told me to stop right when I started.
I told you to read between the lines, baby. He could become, though, one of those guys who, and maybe he doesn't want it to be the journeyman, and maybe just, the guy is actually pretty clever with businesses outside of fighting. But Josh is still a guy that some people can't beat. I mean, that's the problem is when you look at him, you don't want to do it. That's what I'm saying. You have to just okay yourself with being a guy who is fighting, who's a gatekeeper, and I'm a check casher. If he can handle that, I don't know, because I don't think he's necessarily going to get better anymore.
Listen, I think you can do that in other sports. Like, hey, I'm not at my best, but I still got a couple good years. I can still come in off the bench and I can still come off the bench. This is a really painful sport. Like, hey, you know what? I'm going to be a stepping stone now for up and coming guys. You beat me, and now you're on your rise. I mean, why do that to yourself?
Yeah.
So listen, the guy sounds like a smart dude, and go off and do something else now. You had a great first career.
Do you buy into the conspiracy theory that the ref who was in the Drew Dober, Leandro Silva, there's a conspiracy that says the ref is training partners with Leandro Silva and that he stopped that fight because that was the most egregious, bogus, awful stoppage of all time. And Drew Dober did get his win bonus from Dana because it was ridiculous. You can't really overturn it because the commission there says, well, it wasn't a rule broken and it wasn't, there was no collusion that you can prove. So they're not going to overturn it. It's going to stay a loss on that record.
I mean, listen, I'm still a newcomer to, UFC and mixed martial arts, and I'm looking at that, and my wife has let my kids fight longer than that. I mean, okay.
Yeah, we can keep going on this.
Okay. First of all, let me tell you how bad. I don't know much about ref, but even I'm looking at that. That would be like your waitress bringing your coffee, going, "Here you go." That's how bad you're like. I'm pretty sure that's probably the worst waitressing job I've ever seen. Or if a ring girl came out and she was wearing ski pants. It's no, I'm still fairly new to this sport, but I don't think you're supposed to be wearing ski pants. No, it was horrible. But here's my theory. I don't think there was any conspiracy.
Right.
I think, listen, the guy was home on his couch, he was getting stoned, and then all of a sudden he was quantum leaped into this fight. He was like, and there's a stadium of people, and he's like, and he just panicked and stopped.
Right. I want to keep going on this one. I started this a little early, but yes, round 3, I wanted to talk about this because, okay, wait. Can we get that back up? I didn't get to acknowledge the picture. So, that's the thing. In theory, Eduardo Handry, or that was his name, I believe. Hurdy, right. Hurdy-gurdy man. That's a fantastic picture, by the way. Is that from the home?
No, that's Wade's.
That's you?
I did one.
No, but who's the dude on the couch?
I think that's Pete. Yeah, Pete sent me a photo.
That's what I'm saying. I know it's not you because I wouldn't still be here if that were you. We'd have a talk. But yeah, so Poor Drew Dober over here. So that's the thing. This guy is, supposedly knows the game. He has fought before. He trained.
Apparently, he's a black belt.
Right. So he should know that there's no danger. You're not going to get choked in that position. And he kind of gives the check, but Drew doesn't. He didn't tap and he didn't do anything to make you think he was out. If anything, he was coming out of the hold. That was the weirdest, most wrong thing I've seen.
Tell me about the arm check. If
I'm getting choked and the ref picks my hand up and I have no defense, I don't stop it from flopping back down. He knows that your carotid's been shut down here and that you're done.
But he was getting out of the hold.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It was...
And so what's crazy to me about this is, inside the octagon, Leandro seemed a little bit like he was being more of a good sport here. Bro, man, I'm sorry.
Right.
He's got the win, but I think he knew, okay, this is not cool. After the fight, though, in the interview after the fight, he starts saying, I felt him tapping, went a little off the deep end. So here, after the fight, Leandro says, for me, he blacked out. A win is a win, and that is what I was looking for. I want to show the UFC that I can be one of the best in my division. I'll prove it inside the octagon. So yeah, he starts saying he was tapping. I felt him giving up. That's totally legit. He did a real fast flip in there. Drew Dober, on the other hand, says, you train, you put your heart, your soul, you bleed, you cry, and the referee stops the fight for no reason. He said that I needed to tap 3 times, and I did not tap once.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
If this was soccer, the referee would have now been killed.
Oh, he's dead. There was a great 30 by 30 on that on ESPN one time about a guy. Yeah.
And
guy who scored on his own goal.
Yes. It's funny because that Dana White was really pissed, but he obviously doesn't want the ref to get any harm. But part of Dana White has to be feeling like,
you sure about
gee, if our marketing was a little bit better, maybe, it kind of shows that the UFC's not quite where soccer is, that this guy's still walking around alive.
That's terrible.
I'm not saying you want him, and I certainly don't want him dead, but it's certainly a benchmark with how popular your sport. We're in Brazil.
Wow.
And he's still alive.
Wow. For now, yeah, but no, and that's the whole problem. Is
okay, hold on.
That's so wrong.
Okay, hold on. Let me clarify. I do not want anything to happen to Eduardo Herdy. I've had bad days at work too.
Fatma, and we had to go do it. Right?
Yeah,
Fatwa,
right?
Fatma is somebody. That's a fatwa. Right, that's what it is.
Are you talking?
Yeah, when they call for action and they say you got to go do this.
Gotcha.
Kill the name of.
I usually turn off my cell phone when that comes. I missed the fatwa call. I'm sorry. Am I still in the group? Am I still in the hate group? Does that?
It's like a flash mob.
Listen, guys, if we're gonna do a hate thing, just text me. I'm much more responsive on a text.
Another. I hope maybe they'll get a rematch or something. I don't know. It's a bummer for Drew Dober. Another thing that I enjoy. I enjoy is the wrong way to say it because I actually could use some of that if Amanda Nunes. So this woman, I want her to be my stunt double. When they make the UFC on Fox movie, when we cast the MMA Heat film, Amanda Nunes, okay, she's got the similar hair, we're about the same size, height and everything like this. She is fierce, okay? That woman is tough.
She crumpled her knee.
Okay, and see, that's what hurts for me, is that Shayna Baszler is a woman that I have admired for a long time. She's a really, really cool girl and certainly a pioneer of the sport. And to see her go out like that was really unfortunate because that's that kind of injury. You don't want to lose a fight like that. To get your knee kicked out, but listen, Amanda says, I had some personal problems during my last fight. I couldn't concentrate. Really happy to see everything changed. I'm now part of ATT. Things could not have started any better. About her leg, when you enter the octagon with knee braces, something is wrong. So she aimed for it. It was a target. This is a note. Honestly, we've said this before. If you have one bad knee, wear 2 braces in. Because now I don't know which one is bad.
Interesting.
Why would I give you a target?
I have a better rule. If you wear one bad knee, don't fight.
Don't enter the octagon.
Now, Amanda, too, did not stop fighting. The ref, literally had to grab her and pull
she's
her out.
incredibly fierce. And, when Amanda fought Bethe Ojeda, she had a fantastic first round. I mean, Kat Zingano, she had a fantastic first round. Ironically, Shayna had a fantastic first round against Bethe, ultimately lost. So I have a feeling that maybe Amanda was like, listen, I came close to beating Kat in the round one before. I'm not stopping.
Right.
Because if she had beaten Kat, guess what? That would have been a whole big, different, life-changing thing for her. Didn't go her way. So speaking of Kat, speaking of Bethe, I want to move on in round 4, some fights that were announced. Bethe Ojeda is going to fight Ronda Rousey for the bantamweight title at UFC 190. That's August 1st. It's going to be happening down in Brazil. Now, recently, Bethe was at UFC 184.
First of all, can we just say that that's a very unfortunate first name that her parents have given her?
Well,
Bethe.
Internationally, yes, there are a million jokes that you could...
She just wants to keep out of the South. You don't want to... Bethe.
Come here, Bethe.
That's you know, she just... Go by Brenda. Brenda.
Yeah.
Can you call her Brenda?
So recently at 184, she was in town and she did a scrum, talked to a bunch of us, and she was asked whether or not she believes Ronda is a good champion. So we obviously have to have some translation here because she speaks Portuguese, but let's listen to what she said and the translation about how she feels about Ronda as a champion.
Não, eu acho que... eu sou muito sincera. Eu acho que ela fez o MMA feminino uma grande coisa. Ela conseguiu convencer Dana White a levar o MMA feminino para o UFC. Muito obrigada, mas até agora eu não vi nada de campeã, porque para mim uma campeã que fica só se exibindo, parecendo em campanha, fazendo filme, isso não é campeã. Tanta fama tem que ser feita benefício para o mundo. Eu vou fazer isso. Eu vou ser uma campeã do povo, pro mundo, melhorar o mundo, não ficar só me exibindo, ganhando dinheiro para mim mesmo. Ela é uma campeã egoísta, na minha opinião.
Okay. No, I don't consider her, like, she did a good thing that was like bring the UFC, the female fight for the UFC. She convinced Dana to do it, but I don't think she's a good champion. I think she's really selfish. She just thinks about herself, about making movies, dressing well, showing up. I'm not gonna be like this. I'm gonna be a real champ. I'm gonna do something for the people. I'm gonna be the people's champ.
So there you have it. I kind of disagree with her, actually. I think Ronda is a great champion. I think that doing things outside of the octagon brings more attention to the division. I think obviously Ronda is an incredible champion in terms of dedication, what she does for the sport in terms of also making women seem like legitimate, real fighters. I don't have any problem with Ronda as a champion.
I completely disagree.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not watching a woman in a pink dress talk about fighting before Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
So Ronda's been amazing for the sport of women's MMA, and so I completely disagree. And of course, like, Ronda's gonna be thinking about herself and off to do movies and stuff. Isn't this her career?
Wouldn't everybody do that in that position? Try to take advantage of what they can do. I listen, and some people are like, oh, Bethe doesn't deserve the fight, but she's number 7. Ronda's already beaten everybody above her. Kat, Misha, she beat Alexis Davis, Sarah McMahon, Sarah Kaufman, she beat in Strikeforce, Jessica Ai, she hasn't fought yet, but Jessica Ai is going to be fighting Miesha Tate. And so, you know, some of the women are lined up. Sarah Kaufman is going to be lined up with Alexis Davis, so those two are already fighting. So Ronda may, in fact, fight the winner of Jessica Ai versus Miesha Tate next after she defeats Bethe Ojeda, because I feel like Bethe fights too much like how Ronda was. Bethe loves to get in your face and smash you. Well, guess what? The closer you are, the more danger you're in. Speaking of getting close, the UFC 189 World Tour is going on right now. Jose Aldo, oh my God, he's so fierce, and Conor McGregor are on tour. I will see them tomorrow. So excited. So of course, folks, I should mention, we have that interview with Bethe Ojeda on my YouTube channel, YouTube.com/Karyn Bryant. Tomorrow, we'll be speaking with Jose Aldo and Conor McGregor, so look for those as well. So I'm curious how you feel about the smack talk, because if you watch Embedded or any of these things right now, if you watch that press conference, Conor is talking so much crap, and Jose is just like, I can't wait to just murder this guy. Do you think the smack talk is working?
So do I think it's working?
Do you think smack talk is smart in this particular situation especially?
First of all, I think Smack Talk is brilliant to promote the fight.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so excited about this fight. Like, I've even forgotten that Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao are fighting. Like that. I mean, like that fight should have happened 5 years ago. This is the like I jumped over that fight to watch this. Do I think it's affecting Jose Aldo? Jose Aldo has a scar that runs on here. He grew up in Brazil. He's not a very large person. That dude's probably pretty damn tough. Pretty mentally tough too. So no, I don't think it's negatively affecting him.
Overtime here,
No, I don't think it's negatively affecting him, but I do think it's pumping up Conor, and I do think it's pumping up the fight. So I'm all for it. I love it.
And I think that, and we'll talk to these guys tomorrow. I think that Conor believes 85% of what he says. You know what I mean? I know he believes in his skill set, and he's an incredibly talented fighter. And I do believe that Conor will be able to tag Jose sometimes. And, you know, listen, Jose is hittable. We saw that Chad Mendes really beat him up, you know, in the face. That being said, yes, you don't mind game Jose Aldo. Like you said, the life that this man has led, the hardships that he's had to overcome in his life, I don't think he's mentally breakable. I just want these two to walk around in bubble wrap, though, so that this fight actually comes to fruition, because I will just be devastated if one of these guys gets hurt.
I think Dana White's arm is just going to be tired at the end.
Nice. All right. Round 5, Pete. All you.
All right. Round 5. Round 5. We just have a couple. We have a couple awards over the weekend. The worst nickname award goes to Andre Touchy Fili.
See, I like Touchy Fili. You're wrong, sir.
I understand that Touchy goes with Fili. I get that. And yes, how it sounds is certainly one aspect of a good nickname. But another aspect is that, and equally important, is that you don't want the nickname to make you sound like a creepy uncle who's lurking around his niece's pool party offering to rub sunscreen on all our friends. Like, dude, Touchy Fili. Okay, if your name is Dave Children, you don't want your nickname to be Molester of. Like, yes, it's Dave Molester of Children. That does have a certain flow. But you will not get any sponsorship.
Coaches will say, touch him, keep touching him, keep touching him. It's.
I get the touch. The Touchy Fili.
I love it.
Okay.
You're
okay.
wrong.
That is my. Listen, my last name is Cummin.
Yes.
It's why I steer away from nicknames like Premature. Pete Premature Cumming, Pete Quick Cumming. And I go with things like Hi Old Guy or something.
I would call you Keep It. Keep it coming.
Keep it coming. Well, see, now, listen, I'm sure he got that nickname as a kid, which is tough because you're a kid, you're sitting around, and one person throws out a nickname, all your other friends laugh, you're toast, that's your nickname for life. But the UFC is like college, you have a chance to reinvent yourself. Greatest nickname, though, I ever heard was this guy's coming to a party, and somebody goes, yeah, I mean, his nickname is RTC. And I'm like, what's that? He goes, it stands for Retarded Tom Cruise. And, and I go, what? And he goes,
well, because he looks like that. I swear to God, I might have met this guy.
Well, he kind of looks like a retarded Tom Cruise. And I'm like, what the hell is a retarded Tom Cruise look? And then this dude walks into a party, and I like just spit out my beer. Like, he's not a bad-looking dude. He looks almost as good-looking as Tom Cruise, but with like a little mongoloid.
I swear to you, I might have met this dude too.
And I felt so bad for the dude, because you know that he was at college, and everyone sit around, drink like late at night, and one person made the observation, and it was like, boom. And now the guy's like in his 40s, still going like, I don't like to be called that anymore. So I feel so.
It's terrible.
So, but anyway, I think that's a horrible nickname. All right. Award number 2, the worst Monday award.
Okay.
The worst Monday award goes to what I can only assume is former UFC referee Eduardo Herdy.
Former. Yeah, supposedly that was only his 6th fight that he's ever refed or something, and we're out. That was awful.
When you have Dana White basically saying you should never ref again, you're like, oh.
And by the way, this was in the second fight. In the first fight of the night, he let a dude get choked out way too long.
Yeah.
But he did not have a good night.
Well, the funny thing is that he had a fight after that one, right? Didn't
he had
ref
one more. Yeah.
Like, can you imagine how much he was shaking after that? Like, okay, hold on. Do I have everything? Okay. So. Anyway, thanks to our tremendous resources here at Podcast Central, we have Eduardo H.E.A.T's Monday morning calendar.
Okay.
Monday morning calendar.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Wake up, make breakfast, avoid media, weep uncontrollably. Apparently he's got that booked out for about 4 hours. Lunch with Jimmy No Thumbs, pay him the winnings.
Nice.
Berate myself with words like stupid and loser. Call mother. Read 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. Look for a job on Craigslist. Begin 12-year battle with alcohol. So that's pretty much the worst Monday.
Done.
Worst Monday
Nicely
award.
done.
Worst Monday. But I will say that I am impressed that he is out there looking for a job because according to the Pew Research Institute, in terms of market demand, referees who suck are just below hookers who don't.
Oh no! Oh no!
There we go. Well, look, we office administrator with terrible reffing experience.
Okay.
Entry level dipshit. I mean, there's quote Eduardo H.E.A.T lookalike for scat play. 75. That actually might be in the wrong section. I think that should be in the casual encounters section.
Oh my God! Did they let you say stuff like that on YouTube? Oh my God!
We don't have to.
Clearly, I did not okay this, folks.
If you know what scat play is, I believe you're old enough to hear it. Anyway, that's
what you got, Pete. Hi, old guy.
I think we'll end on that.
I think
ending on
Wow, that's a first. I don't believe we've ever had a conversation about that on this program.
Well, I like to think that we bring a little bit more than just the UFC.
Because I really liked Big Ass Monday last week. I thought that was great. You just took it to another level. Keeping on the same theme in a way, putting it somewhere else a little bit.
I think you missed the talk you were supposed to have with me after Big Shit Monday. I think you're supposed to say, Pete, Wade and I need you to dial it back just a touch.
No, we don't. But I'm serious about the YouTube. They let you
I honestly don't know what that is.
Oh, okay, good. Wade doesn't know. See?
I thought it was like a...
We don't know. No.
Synonymous with like a shit player or something. Well, we don't have to explain that.
I feel like puppies and smiles, puppies and smiles.
So, nicely done, sir. The HOG knows what's up.
I do want to say one thing. Touchy Fili.
Yes.
Anyone out there in our comment section,
yes,
please come up with a better nickname, and the winner, I will drink next week or next show a shot from the flask of death in your honor.
That's so good. Somebody really appreciated that last week.
There's been some booze in here since 2004. It's brown and it's thick, and I'm not quite sure what it is. But whoever comes up with the best nickname for Andre, no longer Touchy Fili, I will drink a shot in your honor.
Hey, so speaking of shots, I'm going to do I'm going to do a virtual shot to dude on Twitter called Photoshop Steve. Now he has done some really awesome things. I want to show some of these pictures. Cool. Granted, I'm sorry for those of you listening on the audio, but he's done some fun stuff with those of us on UFC Tonight and part of the Fox UFC team. So here's what he did of us from Anchorman. And I get to play the Christina Applegate role, and I think, not for nothing, I think I look okay as a blonde. I don't hate that.
Yes, for those of you on audio, Karyn would make a hot white woman. She has blonde hair.
So we have Kenny. I love that Kenny Florian is over here playing. I forget what's his name. He's the weatherman. Right? No. He's the reporter. He's the field reporter. Bisbing we have is the gay weatherman. I don't know if Michael feels about that one.
No, sports.
No. He's sports. Brick.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, I love that. So now he did another one. Of us from American Hustler, which is great. He's got Ronda in the mix with us or whatever. Kenny looks real. I'm sorry. Yeah. Kenny looks real. I think, the hair is like
hot.
that. Is,
you look hot. Plunging neckline for those of you listening on the...
Plunging neckline and everything. Chael looks fantastic there. Ronda and some Bismuth. So it's great. It's really, really fun. And he did one more. Nice. Look at that from Kick-Ass. Again, this is fun. So I think it's great. I wanted to give him a shout out, keep them going. They're hilarious to me.
Nice.
I think they're really
Photoshop Steve.
Photoshop Steve, yeah. It's Photoshop_Steve. His actual tag is something different, but I wanted to give him a shout out.
So does that mean that there's that somebody beat him to Photoshop
apparently,
Steve?
I'm not sure, but anyway.
That'd be a bummer, man. You're like, damn it.
He's totally rocking it. So yeah, so like I said, things to look out for this week. We will be talking with Jose and Connor tomorrow, and then I will also have them on UFC Tonight with me on Wednesday. So I'm really looking forward to that. Also on so those interviews, YouTube/Karyn Bryant. Wednesday, Champ Chris Weidman is coming into UFC Tonight with us.
Nice.
So the Champ is going to roll in. Always fun to see him. Good guy. We'll talk to him. We're going on spring break a little bit. Our kids are in spring break, so we'll probably be back next week. But after that, we'll do a preview of Chad Mendes fighting Ricardo Lamas. We got a lot of good stuff, and I'm going to be lining up some interviews today with people on that fight card, so that should be fun. Good stuff to look out for.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool. And that's about it, Pete. I just write when I think you got me. You just take me somewhere else that I haven't been.
Yeah, I think it's time for you to have that talk with me now. Pete, in case we didn't make it obvious during the podcast, scat's the absolute lowest you can go. In fact, we want you to come up a little bit off the floor next time.
Yeah. Pete, where can
I'm just finding the line, Kat.
Finding your chest and then just going.
Well, you got to kind of jump over it a little bit. Oh, was that the line? Okay. Yes, okay. So got it.
That was the line. Pete, you have been tweeting more, which I love. Where can people find you?
Mind Noogie. MINDNOOGIE.
Very nice. You can find me at Karyn Bryant, KarynBryant. That's on Twitter and again, of course, YouTube/Karyn Bryant. Also, please like our MMA Heat page on the Facebook. We put a lot of stuff there, obviously. And on Instagram, KB Heat. I come up with some, stuff.
And, you got it. But still not on Tinder.
Am I?
Still not?
No, I can't. Don't blow it. Ixnay on the Ender twit.
Wait. Earmuffs.
No, please. Although now everybody's talking about Glide and everybody's back loving Snapchat. I can't get involved in all those.
I'm like,
you want to do Snapchat? You know you do.
Now, how does Snapchat work?
That's the one where it's just you talk to somebody for a minute. It's like a. Or that's chat roulette, that where you didn't know who was going to pop up. But Snapchat are these little things, and they fade. They're not supposed to stay unless you're John Jones and you're showing off your business, and somebody records the Snapchat, and it lives on forever.
Is that what he did?
That's the thing. It's supposed to just dissipate.
Yeah, but if someone takes a screen grab right before it dissipates,
or stands there and films it.
I just wanted to come up with just even more superficial stuff, like Tinder, you were judged on your photo. Now I think, I don't know, you should be judged on your family name. Johnson, no.
Coming out. They used to have the Hot or Not list, which was predated Tinder. Do you remember the Hot or Not thing? When I was at CNN, we had the originator of the Hot or Not list on, and people were livid with that dude.
Right.
He's like, hey, I hate to tell you, newsflash, people like good-looking people more than other. You know what I mean? It was like, really? Did I just not tell you guys something you already knew?
I'm just interested. I just kind of want to do Tinder just to see do I get any sweep rights?
Pete, I just want to let you know, I don't know that you're going to do better than your wife. It's not real heart to heart here. Every time I see her, I'm like, really?
Every morning, every morning I hand her that glass of freshly squeezed spiked orange juice just to keep her drunk.
Telling you guys would be high-fiving High Old Guy right now. His wife is
High Old Guy. High Old Guy definitely played a little bit out of his league. I feel like, and now she's got two of my kids. So I got my claws in her now. Now High Old Guy can get a little fat. You know what are you gonna do? Leave me? You're gonna ruin 3 people's lives?
All I have to say is
selfish.
You don't ever want to let me and Joe go out together for a girls' night because I'm gonna drop some science on her and she might come back a little bit different.
No, I told you my wife was going with her friends to like some club, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, can I go? And she goes, oh, well, if you're with us, we probably won't get in. I'm like,
it's true.
I'm like, so basically you're using your sexuality to get into clubs. And she's like, well, yeah.
Duh.
I was like, okay, well.
Duh.
So I stayed home and watched Mad Men season 2.
You were supposed to say Quincy reruns.
Quincy.
Hey, and by the way, Wade, if you want to give a shout out, Wade has got the Quantum Leap shirt on. Throwing back to your joke here. It's actually from the KB collection that was one of my all-time favorite shows. Seen every episode. Have a Scott Bakula autograph picture. Like, I lived for that show.
That's getting a little.
You
know, we were right with you until the Scott Bakula.
And
then we're like, oh, that's a little too much.
Cool points deducted. All right, folks. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you want the audio version of this, go to MMAHeat.com/podcast. You can find us on iTunes and Stitcher, and it's free.
Can't beat that.
We'll see you next time, folks. Thanks for watching.